myself to always carry around a minecart with me, so I always have one in that storage chest. And you got the railways, which go both ways. I have one that goes north, and then one goes south, because I'm pretty sure my building, well, my base is facing north and south. And that's where the rails go, so. What am I looking at? The pretty clouds? I guess so. I'm assuming they'll start going soon enough, because there are a decent amount of rails. Not enough rails for me to actually get that achievement that I want, but I went up to my terrace of cloud watching, which is a little building I made just for fun. I think I discovered making stairs that day, so I put cobblestone stairs just in the sky and built a little place. And then I didn't have any idea for a purpose for it, so I turned it into a place to watch clouds. So I put glass all over the roof and glass around, so I can look around, you know, see what's going on, see how cool everything is, all that good stuff. And then, yeah, down there you can see my little water canals for my mob trap, which we'll get into eventually, and pretty later in the video, because that's in my mines. You know, we're not getting to my mines yet. But and then the little hole that I dug to get the grass down to my animal farm that I made. You know. But yeah, the funnest part about the terrace of cloud watching is by far just jumping off, because then you'll hit the water, you'll live, you'll be fine, so it's okay. It's definitely the most cool part. So sploosh, win. And get my bearings, get out of the water. And where are we going next? Oh yeah, back to the railways. That's where we were originally going, but got sidetracked with a little terrace there that I forgot that I made. Like, I didn't forget that I made it, it's just kind of out of what I had originally planned for showing in this part of the tour. Although it was one of my little creations, so it makes sense in being here. I mean, it is part of my world, so it's going to be part of the video. Or I won't be showing every little thing here, just the main things I've been working on the past 2 or 3 months. Well, some of them seem pretty old projects by now with all the stuff that I've had to do. Now, I definitely remember this part of the video. This is where I started lagging like crazy. Which, you know, doesn't really make sense. I mean, Minecraft doesn't rely on internet. And yeah, I don't have the best internet, but like I said, it has nothing to do with it. I'm playing single player, so no need for the internet at all. I guess my computer just crapping out here. You know, it's probably started smoking, lighting on fire a little bit. Pretty sure this aggravated me at the time, but I guess that's to be expected, especially when you're trying to shoot a video and then you start lagging. Ugh, it's gonna be annoying. It's not as annoying now that I'm not actually experiencing it this second, but well. Let's see when they actually start moving again. That'd be nice. Yeah, any minute now. Get back into it. Pick up where we left off in this video. I hear movement. I don't see it. It's kind of important. Oh man, this is horrible. Okay, start to see the little railways that I've built. Well, I guess they're not little, but railways. They're fenced off, more lampposts, you know, light up the area. I got the torches everywhere because the lampposts are so high off the ground that they don't light up much. So I gotta light it up with torches to compensate. But the lampposts look nicer than the torches do, so I guess they win in that department. They win in aesthetics, but not practicality. Okay, now we're off on our way again. Now this side of the railways goes into like the side of a mountain. You know, that's where I'll probably build like my second base if I ever get really tired of seeing the terrain around my normal base. Although lately I don't even see it very much since I'm working so much in the mines. I don't even see Inferno Tower like anywhere but rarely. When, but rarely, I guess, because we're talking about time, not a place. Yeah, you can see all the cool water as we go, and the sand, and the trees, and other stuff you'd expect to see. And then we got the glass tunnel right here. Oh, octopi in the corner. Saw that. And the cows. Yeah, because when I originally built the tracks here, it went right through a hill. And I didn't want mobs jumping on my tracks and, you know, stopping me dead in my tracks. Well, I guess these are called rails, so that's like an invalid pun, but Yeah, so I had to block it off with glass. Well, I could have blocked it. I could have just dug it out and covered the top, but it looks nicer with glass, and I can actually see. So yeah, it's like the little area. There's a little storage chest there, and the crafting table, and get in here and go off. But then we came into a problem here, which just originally left me speechless. I was pretty sure I was in that cart when I hit the switch to start, and it launched without me. That probably annoyed me the most. Because I'm like, how does that even happen? But oh well. I mean, it's over now. It's just, it kind of blew my mind, because that's never once happened, and I've ridden back and forth tons of times between my two areas, just, you know, riding around on the tracks, enjoying myself. Because, you know, I used to rely on the bug boosters, which, like, one of those would carry me the entire way, and then I just put one on the other side to get back. And there's a tree right there. That was originally there because of the dirt where it grew, but I left it there because it looks cool. Yeah, so I was relying on the bug boosters before, but then Notch put out the powered rails, so I upgraded to legitimate boosters because I like being legitimate as possible in my Minecraft career. So I put the powered rails every 26 or something like that. I think that's like the optimal speed ratio or whatever. Keeps me going the fastest I can go, and you know, consistently gets me back every time without wasting coal power or anything like that, which is ideal because, you know, as much coal as I got, I don't want to waste it on just travel, especially when I like riding back and forth sometimes, you know. And the other cool thing about, you know, the powered rails is if you start on a slope, you can just put your cart there and you'll stop, and then you can wait till you hit a switch and then you can go. I'm like, so you can create little launch pads. I'm like, that's cool. You know, I like all the little properties that Notch gave to it. You know, make it more useful for any like little Minecraft ideas. Oh yeah, check my achievement here on a rail. Travel by minecart at least 1 kilometer from where you started. That's a problem that I had here. It's one of the 2 achievements that I don't have. And I don't have this one because as long as my railways are, I mean, we're going north even further than the way south was, is they aren't long enough. Like, it seemed long enough. I'm like, that's 1,000 blocks easy. I mean, with all the rails that I've loaded, but I guess not as far as it seems. Well, I'll get the achievement eventually, whenever I add to my rails. Although right now, I think they're pretty complete. I just need to add more powered rails, because there is not enough to take you all the way on this side of the railways. It stops like 100 or 150 blocks shy of where it needs to be. But yeah, I got enough for at least the key part right here, because the area around here, when I was building the railways, I saw that the islands over here, like little islands in the sky, they were generated because of like a chunk error or something, and they just look really cool. So I'm like, I want to build the railways that way. So I did. I put them atop the islands and just kind of brought it around all of the floating things in like the really high areas. I'm like, that looks cool. And yeah, the powered rails, I got enough to bring me up the hill, but not all the way around to the end where I would put my third base if I ever want to, you know, move on again. And like, my bases are already all linked by the railways, so that's cool. I can always go back if I wanted to. Well, yeah, this would be a great place to set up shop. I mean, look at all the interesting terrain. It's so unique and high. But then again, all the worlds that we keep generating in Minecraft are unique. I mean, you're adding structures to it. You're making it your own. I mean, so everybody's just unique. But compared to the stuff that I've seen, this is like nothing like any of what the rest of my world looks like. So I'm like, this is where my tracks are going. You know, that's the real beauty of Minecraft. It's just the freedom of choice. I mean, if you can think of it, you can pretty much make it, as long as it's not round. Although if you make something big enough in Minecraft, it'll look round from far away. Just don't get close, and then you'll realize it's blocks again. But yeah, it's like, it's only limited to your imagination and your ideas. If you want a giant boat in the sky, go make a giant boat in the sky. You could do it. And here's the little anomaly in my world. There's just a floating block out there, and yeah, that happens when worlds are generated, but to me, it kind of looks like sand, and sand usually adheres to gravity, usually. So, like, it'll get pulled down, but it might just be sandstone that looks like sand, and that's floating over there. But I hope my world's glitched just for that one block, so I can feel special that I have floating sand. It probably isn't that way, but I'll keep hoping, because, you know, hope is a good thing. And if I had a floating block of sand in my world, I'd be pretty excited. But yeah, it's probably sandstone, but oh well. I gotta get back to my place so we can continue this tour. The railways are cool, but we've got other things to show you guys, and I'm sure I've already used a lot of your time. What are you looking at? 24 minutes. That is a good amount of time, but you know, I wanted to show you guys everything that I thought was pretty important in my world, and that's what I'm doing. If it takes a while, it takes a while. Going downhill. That was always cool. You can do that without the powered rails, of course, just relying on kinetic energy, but I want to be able to go up my rails without walking up them, so Had to put the power rails there. Cool moon over there. Now, where did I plan on going next? Oh yeah, we're going to the mines after this, because that's the next thing to show you guys. I think we've covered pretty much everything above ground, but now we're going to show you what I've been working on more recently, because, yeah, I love my above ground projects, and I do them even when I've been working in the mines for a while, but most of my work goes into the mines, so that's just where I happen to be right now. I got mines, like, pretty, like, to bedrock, so, like, low to the earth. I mean, that's where all the best stuff is there, because, yeah, like, you can find coal and iron pretty high in Worlds, but, like, all the good stuff is guaranteed in the bottom. Well, not guaranteed, it's more likely to be there. And you can universally, like, get all of the little resources there, so that's pretty sweet. Excuse me. Yeah, I had to jump out of the minecart there, because I still had both of the switches on, so it would have continued if I didn't get out. Good thing, because they had, unoccupied carts only go 8 blocks, so I didn't have to chase it that far. Yeah, we're going to go on my mine shaft that I was talking about. So yeah, I'll find diamonds, occasionally gold, iron, and tons of redstone. I already have plenty. I don't really need it because I don't do a lot of things that involve redstone, but it's useful. I mean, if I ever do think of a project that needs wiring, then I'll be set. Yeah, it's just always been the way I've mined. Dig a giant mine shaft and start at the bottom and just kind of branch out where the best stuff is. It's a good way to go at it. There we just got my little skywalk here. Eventually, I think I was turning off the switches real quick. Gotta leave them unpowered so I don't accidentally put a cart down and, you know, fly off somewhere I don't want to be. Starting to go down. You see the sign. Justin's mine shaft and cave mines below. But before we actually get into like the little mining operation, I have a little thing that I built just for fun. The roller coaster. I have just a cart there because I have a cart with a storage chest near all my railways, so I don't always have to be carrying one around with me to get from wherever I need to get to. And there's the little starting launch pads that I love so much. Hit the switch and off we go. Now this only relies on kinetic energy to get down. I did not have a way to get back up. That was never part of the plan. Because it's not really practical, it's just for fun, so I can have a little roller coaster to go down. And I don't need to get back up that way. I mean, that's what the ladder's for. So, that's fine. And you get there, boom. Now that your ride is over, how about you take a swim? It's like, I guess I will. Kinda chilly though. Don't want to spend too long in there. Might catch something. Get out of that water. There's that ambience again. Whenever you're in Minecraft, you just hear weird sounds, especially near caves. So if you're working in your mines and you keep hearing weird sounds that don't really sound like anything that you're used to, it might just be ambience, and it might mean that there's like a nice cavern next to you, which is good to explore. Because yeah, mine shafts are good and branch mining is good, but you usually find the best stuff in like already pre-generated like caves and stuff. And I'm not even sure if that's because of design. I think that's just because some of it's already dug out, so you can just kind of take a peek, and if you see anything good there, you know, and if you don't, it's not there. Oh, it could be just a few blocks under, but you get a good idea of what's there and what isn't. And we're finally in my cave mines here, at the mossy cobble there, because the whole start of this area was a zombie dungeon. Because I heard it, went in, fought it, it was cool. And then I'm like, you know, zombie dungeon's not exactly everywhere, you know, everyday stuff. So this is where I'll set up for all my mining ops, so I don't got to keep going to my base to store all my stuff. I got my mining lodge here with all my gear, all my little boxes, chests, I guess. And then I'm going to take a peek at my farm, because that was like the first thing I constructed once I made my mining lodge. So I'm like, I need a place to get like wood, so I don't got to keep going back to the surface. So I made an underground tree farm. Dug that out, and then I expanded on it so I could turn it into a cactus farm and a sugarcane farm, because that's the other two things that are over there. So I just have, like, pretty much everything growing around my world that I can, like, farm. Did air quotes there, but you can't see them. Still did them, though. Did the little motion and everything. So yeah, but the only thing that isn't, like, right here is the wheat farm, but that's above ground. But it's still there, though. Oh yeah, and I dug the ceiling 8 high for a reason. because the most they